The purpose of this overview is to give a video tutorial on how to assemble a Zone 2 electronic link SKY satellite dish. Okay, so what we're trying to end up with is the finished product which we have on my left hand side here, which is a 60cm SKY dish, which would be normally used with free-to-air satellites or indeed SKY installations. So let's look at the component parts that come as part of this kit. Okay, basically we have the wall bracket and the wall tube here. We have the feed arm, which will hold the LNB. We have an elevation bracket, we have a dish bracket, the satellite dish itself. We possibly have a single LNB or a quad. You might have your own, you can buy it with or without the LNB. And then the final part here, we have this bag of components here which are used to do the final assembly of the satellite dish. Okay, so I'm just going to give an overview step by step on how to do it. I'm just going to start off with the wall bracket here, simply so we can assemble it and sort of move it out of the way. So we start off simply by sliding this U-bolt through here. We come along and we get this nut here. It's a 10mm. I'm just going to hand tighten at this point. And we grab the next part here, which will actually just slide in from this side. Slide it through like this. Once again, we'll put on 2 nuts manually. Slide it back down like that. And the tube then can be inserted. If we want to maximize the distance from the wall this way, and if we want to maximize the elevation and keep it compact to the wall this way. Okay? So normally it's obviously mounted this way, I'd say the vast majority of the times. So we just slide through, and what we'll do then is we'd use just the array of tools we have here. Basically they're all available on tvtrade.ie. You could use either a 10mm spanner or this 10mm socket, a 13mm socket which we'll use at a later point, a ratchet, and also a Phillips screwdriver. So I'm just going to pick up this long neck socket here. I'll just tighten this in here. You can see, just repeat the steps there, and basically we have a bracket here that's pretty well assembled there. So I'm just going to move that bracket out of the way, and that will obviously be mounted onto the wall with plugs and bolts, and then the satellite dish, the back will be mounted here, and it'll rotate around here. Okay, so that's the first part assembled. The next part we move on to then is, once again we'll put in the U-bolts here. We simply start from inside, slide the U-bolt out, put on the first nut, the second nut. These all use 10mm spanners here. We have this here, slide it in, first and second part. Okay, so this is the elevation bracket, and we're going to fix this on now to the dish bracket, and we're going to use these bolts and washers here to achieve this. Okay, so what we're going to do now is just slide this down, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick up the first nut or bolt and washer here, and I'm simply going to slide this through here, and we'll just slide it in here. Assemble the first piece. Assemble the second piece. I'll just return this around. I'm just going to repeat the process on the far side, which is screw this in here. That's it. And I can just, if I want to drive it further, what we can actually do at this particular point in time is I'll just use this socket without the ratchet on. I'll only use the ratchet at a later point when I'm really tightening it in the whole way. So the key point here is to tighten in, so it's well driven in, but you don't want to tighten it the whole way because you need to leave flexibility on it here, because this is obviously not going to be the final angle of this. I'll just repeat this process here. So you can see it's relatively straightforward. Now, what we can see here is there's just a certain amount of play here, so I can change the angle of this, okay? And the idea there is that we can set the angle that we're going to have the satellite dish on using this adjustment here. The next step is simply to turn over this satellite dish. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up one of these nuts here that has a Phillips connection on top. I'm simply going to slide this through here. Next I'll come along and slide on the dish bracket here. So you'll probably be noticing just how much of this assembly is actually just done by hand, okay? And the key points here is with these 4 holes here, fix them on, but don't tighten them in all the way, purely because we just want a little bit of play to make sure we can get this in. So what I do normally at this point here is I'd either get a 10mm socket or spanner and just hold this part here. I'm just going to hold it up and hopefully be able to see both sides here. I get the socket on this side, I got my Phillips screwdriver here, and I simply tighten it all the way in, and I repeat this process for all 4 corners. Okay, so now you can see now it's slowly but surely starting to look like a satellite dish. The next step is to put on the actual feed arm for the LMB. So I want this to be faced upwards like this, okay? So the 2 holes here need to line up with the 2 holes on the back of the satellite dish here. So this actually is probably slightly the most complicated part. So what I want to do here is I normally just put my hand in at the back here to force this part apart to give me room to slide in my feed arm. Okay, so I'm just going to do that now. I don't know how well I can demonstrate this and still do it, but what I'll do is I'll just slide it through. And we slide it down along until we have the holes lining up, which we have now. Okay, so hopefully you can see the hole here. And now I'll take up this long bolt here, which has a slightly smaller nut. I think it's an 8 or 9mm head in this. We slide it through. I'll just actually use the Phillips screwdriver to push it through the last piece. That's it. Now, and we come along here, we just get this screw here. Screw it in, and once again we get the Phillips screwdriver. Just tighten this in all the way. And the final piece then is, this is a Mark IV LMB on this, okay? So what we're actually going to be doing at this point here is we'll actually come along, and it's a snap-on connection on this, okay? Now sometimes these will come, if it's quad LMB or that, it'll come with a little spirit level symbol on it here. With the old Mark IIIs, it used to be a push-in, so this is slightly different type of now. And what we'll do here is we simply push it up to this point, and we click it down, and we push it all the way in, it'll click into position like that, okay? So that's the dish effectively fully assembled. What we do now is we mount this, bring this dish and this bracket, mount the bracket onto a wall, normally south facing, come along, mount it there, and drop this satellite dish onto it, and then we'll rotate it and adjust it till we get it to the right position, and then we'll use our 10 and 13mm, particularly our 13mm sockets then to adjust the angle up and down, and then lock it tightly into position. So that's it, an overview of how to assemble a Zone 2 electronic link satellite dish.